As a driving principle of democracy and good governance, freedom of expression is a fundamental human right that allows every citizen to speak their minds freely on important issues that affect society, access information, and hold the powers that to be accountable to. But with that said, rights and freedom are not given on a silver platter. In order to instill any form of change, society should be reawakened to realize that the space is shrinking. During a public discussion on the impact of shrinking civic and democratic spaces in Zambia, organized by Action Aid Zambia with support from many other organizations, the emphasis was that citizens must overcome fear and struggle for their rights and freedom. This is how the discussion went.
Good morning once more. I'd like to take this opportunity to call upon the Director for Africa from SIDA, who has just joined us. We are so grateful to have him here, and also to have all the other dignitaries that have joined us for this segment. The SIDA Director, please, you're welcome.
Thank you and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Government officials and parliamentarians, Action Aid International Secretary General, Action Aid Zambia Board and staff, civil society organizations, media representatives, cooperating partners, members of the diplomatic corps and UN agencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, old friends. I'm really very happy to be here this morning to be part of this public discussion and launch of Action Aid Zambia's report on the political and civic space in Zambia. And I would like to commend Action Aid Zambia for organizing this event. I think it's really an important opportunity, creating forums like this one where citizens, civil society and other interest groups can meaningfully express their views and participate in public debate, and thus in the shaping of the country's democratic development. Around the world, democracy is in decline. Today, more people are living in countries with authoritarian tendencies than in countries making democratic progress. In response to these developments, Sweden is launching a drive for democracy, which will be reflected in all areas of our foreign policy, including our development cooperation. It will involve providing support and sustenance wherever democracy can grow, and expressing criticism when it is eroded. Zambia has been a role model in the region when it comes to democracy, and we expect Zambia to continue on that path. In this regard, civil society and media play a crucial role. The Embassy of Sweden in Lusaka and the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, has been tasked by the Swedish government and parliament to enable people living in poverty and oppression to improve their lives. We believe that this cannot be achieved without democracy, gender equality, and human rights. Therefore, democratic space has a bearing on all of SIDA's activities in Africa and elsewhere. It is, however, important to keep in mind when we speak of democratic space in Africa that there are many dimensions at local level and national level, as this report shows, of democratics, and that there is also a large variation between the countries. Not all of our 15 African partner countries are experiencing shrinking democratic space. And compared to other regions, Sub-Saharan Africa actually diverges slightly in a positive sense when it comes to development of democratic space. Out of our 15 African partners in the countries, the Varieties of Democracy Index for 2017 showed that the democratic situation improved in one-third of our partner countries. It deteriorated in one-third and remained unchanged in one-third of the countries. Seen over a longer period, though, the region can be said to be part of the negative trend that can be seen globally. In order to counter shrinking democratic space, it is essential to strengthen both state institutions, for example by supporting public sector reform and good governance provisions, as well as creating conditions for strong and independent civil society, media and other actors. This includes defense of human rights defenders. And there is no one-size-fits-all solutions, and there is a need for context-specific analysis and an openness to adapt to new challenges on the ground. That's why this report that has been presented today is so important. It's clear that development actors like SIDA need to work with the multidimensional poverty analysis and better make use of relevant analysis conducted by other actors, such as local NGOs, think tanks, and researchers. So we welcome all these efforts and this report today to improve our analysis also. Finally, it is a fundamental norm of democracy that every voice should be counted as equal, and everyone should have the same possibility for participation. So, democracy cannot be achieved without gender equality. Our experience from working in the region is that strengthening women's political empowerment is fundamental to counteract the underlying causes of shrinking democratic space. With these words, I want to wish our partner, ActionAid Zambia, all the best in your work, and we look forward to continued cooperation in promoting accountability, transparency, access to information, and citizen participation. And I look forward to an interesting debate today. Thank you very much.